Hi, welcome. It's time for Talk Tuesday. I'm Susan B Lochocki, running for President of the United States with the Green Party, and this is my temporary studio here of Matters. Yeah, lots of things matter. Anyway, welcome. Nice to see you. Today is Tuesday the 18th? Yes. And as you know, it's the 100-year anniversary of Tennessee ratifying the 19th Amendment to the Constitution, the right for women to vote. And so I'm still celebrating. Here you go. Vote for women. And yeah, it's an exciting time to be a woman again. You know, it's... yeah, women have also some good ideas, so it's great. And it's also, I don't know if you heard, but President Trump, he pardoned Susan B. Anthony for voting. When she voted once when it was illegal for women to vote. Can you believe it? And she was put in jail for it, along with some other women. So it's been a long struggle for us women to get the right to vote. But we got it, finally, and thank you. You know, we couldn't have done it without you men, not you particular, but your grandfathers and maybe your fathers, I don't know. But we got it, so thank you very much. I'm enjoying. Congratulations to us women, and thank you all the suffragettes out there. I do have a little card thing here that I'm going to go through once. That's Susan B. Anthony there. I'm named after her. Anyways, I'm going to be going, maybe I'll start tomorrow in the coffee mornings. I'll go over a few of the names of the famous women who have gone before me, who are, you know, because of them I could vote, and because of them I can run for president, you know. So anyway, I want to honor them. And I finally got through my luggage, and I finally found the little packet cards. They're cute. Each one has something about a special woman in the fight for rights, for women's rights. So I want to honor them too, because I know I'm standing on big shoulders in doing what I'm doing. So now it's time to get back to a man story, and a very famous one that a lot of U.S. citizens admire. And in fact, I'm going to challenge a famous quote from him from a speech he gave in 1961 for his inauguration. It was his address, and it's John F. Kennedy, and I have an issue with it. So I'm going to read the whole address, and while I'm reading it, I'm probably going to chime in and out with my own opinion, and then when we get to the big one, I'll let you know my opinion. All right, so let's get started. John F. Kennedy, one of our favorite presidents, right? So he starts out, Vice President Johnson, Mr. Speaker, Mr. Chief Justice, President Eisenhower, Vice President Nixon, President Truman, Reverend clergy, and fellow citizens. We observe today not a victory of party, but a celebration of freedom, symbolizing an end as well as a beginning, signifying renewal as well as change. For I have sworn before you and Almighty God the same solemn oath our forebears prescribed nearly a century and 3/4 ago. So right at the very beginning, he starts, it's not a victory of party, which made me realize that, you know, he was trying to unite there in that sentence. But it's been this two-party system, and it's gotten us into trouble. And it's always a tit for tat, and it's always, you know, I'm better than you, and you know, it's a little childish, in my opinion. It's time to bring more parties in. This two-party system is not working. Between the gridlock that gets created and all the fighting against each other, it's just not necessary. I talk to people of all different parties, and, yeah, we have our differences. And sometimes the differences are important, and they're needed at times. And sometimes they're just personal opinion, and, it's not necessary at the time, or they might bring a different insight in. So when you only have two parties and you only separate the two parties, it just doesn't work. The U.S. is failing, and it's part of the problem. And, we wonder why we have so much hate between people right now. And it's because, again, the two-party system shows people, hey, it's us against them. And so we need a third, at least, minimum. Maybe even a fourth and a fifth, I don't know. But it's time, hello, knock, knock, knock. Democrats and Republicans, it's time to let us in. I'm with the Green Party. Okay, I'm not the presidential nominee, but I should say I'm a write-in. I'm a write-in. So knock, knock, knock. Let me in. Let me come in and talk. I am registered Green, and I am Green, but I'm not the nominee for the Green Party currently, and nothing I can do about that. My ideas were somehow not interesting enough, or I started late in the game, so, I can't complain. They did their best to include me, and they did a good job, and I like the Green Party. So I'm going to stay officially labeled Green, but I'm truthfully, sort of a mix of everything. But we're not here to talk about me. We're talking about bettering the USA and things I discovered in this address that was made, in these sentences that I was raised with, that I thought were so great at one time, and now I find them really lacking. So let me continue. The world is very different now, for man holds in his mortal hands the power to abolish all forms of human poverty and all forms of human life. And yet, the same revolutionary beliefs for which our forebears fought are still at issue around the globe. The belief that the rights of man come not from generosity of the state, but from the hand of God. Now here I have a real issue, because not everybody believes in God. So the belief that the rights of man come not from the generosity of the state, but from God. Is that what a president is supposed to be saying? I don't know. That might be what a clergyman is supposed to say, but that's not what a president is supposed to say. So already we're being set up here to believe that God takes care of us, but there are people who don't believe in God. So what do? They get no help. And at that time, I don't know, were churches really helping people? I know today, I don't see the churches taking in homeless people. So where is that hand of God that's supposed to be helping? So since God has seemed to have forgotten his people, the generosity of the state is where things have to come from. Yeah. And since, we are a country of diversity, people from all over, we cannot go around saying hand of God anymore. Maybe hand of good. Hand of good. But then that means that we're trying to get help from each other, which is, we sure should be able to ask each other. But one of our human rights should be, as a U.S. citizen, should be a certain quality of life. And although a lot of Americans have a good quality of life, there are a lot out there who do not. And this has to change. So let me continue. We dare not forget today that we are the heirs of the first revolution. Let the word go forth from this time and place to friend and foe alike, that the torch has been passed to a new generation of Americans born in this century, tempered by war, disciplined by hard and bitter peace, proud of our ancient heritage, and unwilling to witness or permit the slow undoing of those human rights to which the nation has always been committed, and to which we are committed today at home and around the world. So what rights was the nation committed to at the beginning? Well, one of those rights was a separation of people by skin color. And that's, for me, again, I don't know, if I would align myself with that belief, but that's what JFK did. So I think there I also differ. I think we don't want to go back to that world of, master and slave. That's not the world we're living in. That's not acceptable. And that's a little bit what he refers to here, in my opinion. So the unwilling to witness or permit the slow undoing of those human rights to which this nation has always been committed. So that also means that, keeping women down too, because as we know at the beginning, the men decided that the word man only meant men. So, again, he's not the best speech putter together. And commitment around the world. Well, the world has been trying to keep down Africa for a long time. So, maybe, we need a new good speech to look at and to live by. Let every nation know, whether it wishes us well or ill, that we shall pay any price, bear any burden, meet any hardship, support any friend, oppose any foe, to assure the survival and success of liberty. Now that I would agree with. That is 100% USA, but that means liberty for all, not just white men. Liberty for all. Then he goes on to say, this much we pledge and more. To those old allies whose cultural and spiritual origins we share, we pledge loyalty of faithful friends. United, there is little we cannot do in a host of cooperative ventures. Divided, there is little we can do, for we dare not meet a powerful challenge at odds and split asunder. So basically what he says is, united we stand, divided we fall, with our friends of similar backgrounds. So, I think, we have to realize it was the Cold War, perhaps. Perhaps also his mention in here of God was more to separate us from what he saw as the heartless communists, or the godless communists, and that was sort of the environment that was going on in the U.S. at the time. And he was reaching out to the U.S. friends who were, you know, not in the communist route. So I think, though, it's time that we open up our doors to everybody, and our friendships to everybody, whether they believe in God or not, whether they have communism or not. We need the whole world to come together. It's our world together. It's not just the United States world. It's also, you know, yeah, Kenya. It's also Italy. It's also South Korea. It's also Australia. It's all of us, and we all need each other. But yeah, I think this slowdown of globalization is good. It's not only good for the environment, but it's good for all of us. I think we're all a little less stressed at the moment. But we also need to still keep friends and still be there for each other. It is one Earth, and we need each other to all participate and do our part. So that part, I will say, you know, we still need friends, and we still need to work together. And you know what? I'm going to stop here and start a new video because, yeah, we're already at 17 minutes. Okay, so part 2 coming soon. Bye.